Erik ten Hag is looking to obviously strengthen his squad in the January transfer window with the budget of Sir Jim Ratcliffe coming in through and lots of players expected to be obviously cleared out of the Manchester United that we refer to as Deadwood. The manager Erik ten Hag is really ready to obviously go to the Merseyside that we are playing this Sunday to obviously gate 3 players and bring them to 2 players and bring them to Manchester United. Welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, it's really a very good day. It's a Monday and it's the 20th of November and we're here trying to obviously work against the clock. So, Onana, huge boost. He's back in Manchester, returning from the Cameroon national team where he got an injury from, and we're here to wait and see how everything is going to pan out for this month. So let's obviously talk lots and lots of sense, and don't forget to smash the like button, comment and share. We thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims Barakallahu Fikum, and let's set off and really move on to the right direction where we are supposed to be looking at. Now, this story has been run by the Daily Express that Man United are waiting to see what transpires with Everton in January, where any fire sale could see them make the move for Jarrad, Branthwaite and Amadou Onana. Now, I'm going to talk first about Onana. Onana of Everton is really one of those players that I think has been linked to Manchester United. Now this is the 3rd time, you know. During the summer transfer window of 2022 when Erik ten Hag came in here, he was one of those players that Erik ten Hag was looking at. In the summer transfer window of 2023, he was part of this, and he comes in the January transfer window, and Man United are obviously looking to get in this player, sign him, and see to it that he obviously gets to where he deserves to be as a player. And we all understand that it's not only Man United who is looking at this player. That shows you how good a quality this player is. He's a player of pure quality, and he's really one of those that you'll ever and ever want to obviously see do his job as he does it day in, day out for his national team, that is Belgium, and for the club of Everton. Now, why Onana, and why I love the signing of Onana? Guys, we've always lacked a player who is physical. That is it. A player who is physical in nature and talented, like press resistant, and his talent is really undoubted. When you look at Onana, his physicality is really great. And I knew the importance of having physical players, especially in the midfield in the Premier League, when Mikel Arteta made the statement that he needed players who are really physical in the midfield, because he went ahead to really do his check-up on the reason as to why his team of Arsenal never won the Premier League last season, because they lacked physicality in that midfield. And he saw to it that most of the games that he lost, it was because they were really outpowered when it came to physicality and strength in the midfield. So that's how Onana comes into the equation, and I would love him as a player. I love Onana. I would like to confirm to you, I love the player. I just imagine him playing alongside Amrabat or playing alongside Casemiro in that midfield, and sometimes you can obviously go in for 3 of those and play a 4-3-3 of Onana, Casemiro and Amrabat, because all those players are good defensively and they are good when you are carrying the ball to the opponent side. So having a physical body like Onana in our midfield takes us to what we call the league competition, because games of football are won and lost in the midfield. He covers a lot of distance, and at Everton he's really untouchable. His qualities are really undoubted, because teams like Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea are all looking at this lad. And trust me, in the summer there is going to be a huge competition for this player, and there is gonna be a lot of money put on his head if he doesn't obviously leave Everton in the January transfer window, then in the summer transfer window, you wait. We'll be here discussing it because we know God is going to give us the gift of life. We are going to be here, and I guarantee you, he's going to be the hotcakes that every team is going to be looking at, as he has gone ahead to prove himself into the Premier League. This is his second season in the Premier League, and he's obviously a proved article, or a finished article according to me. He's not a raw diamond that Eric Ten Hag needs to polish a lot. This guy is all what every team would need into that midfield in the Premier League. Now, Everton is one of those teams that have gone ahead to find themselves in a situation where they've gone ahead to get a deduction of 10 points because of bleaching one Premier League rule. And there is a second one that is being considered, that if at all they are found guilty, they are going to get a deduction of 9 points. So, in so doing, Everton might find themselves in a position of what we call administration, and they will need to offload their players in the January transfer window if they don't want to get more points deducted from them. And by so doing, they'll be really pushing hard to find themselves in a situation of where they really deserve to be as a club and fighting to stay. So, in so doing, they have players that they really have to sell at the club of Everton. Like they sold Anthony Gordon to Newcastle, I think for £60 million. Then they might find themselves selling Andrew Onana, because Andrew Onana can go for like 50 or 60 also in the right transfer window, and he's one of those that I would fancy United to go in for as players like Scott McTominay. For me, he doesn't match the levels of Amadou Onana. Let's all be factual. If you are given two players, you people who are really watching in, Amadou Onana and Scott McTominay, who do you take? On any day, I take Onana, because everything that Scott McTominay does, Onana does it. That is it. Onana does it, and he does it perfectly than this guy. You get? He does it perfectly than this guy. One will say Scott McTominay is scoring in goals, but his role is not to score goals, and his role is to obviously shield that back four and play well into the double pivot. But for Andre Onana, when he comes into the club of Man United, trust me, he's going to score many goals. Do you know why? Because a team like Man United gives you room to obviously have a lion's share of the possession of the game. That is it. And he will get into those positions. He'll get into those positions as you see Scott McTominay gets in there. And for your information, Amadou Onana has not yet hit his prime. Remember, the prime of any player is expected always to be at 25, 26. That's when many players hit their prime. But for Amadou Onana, he's just 22 years of age and is playing like that. What does that mean? It means this guy is still having 3-4 years to hit his prime. And with under Eric Ten Hag, we all know that he's obviously going to improve him. He's not an injury-prone player, as other players have been at the club of Man United. And he is 76 kilograms heavy. He's 1.92 meters tall. So he's like Harry Maguire. He's like Erling Haaland. That is Amadou Onana for you. So that is Amadou Onana for you. Let's go to Branthwaite, Jarrad Branthwaite. This is a player who has been playing for Everton, and I think he's a graduate coming in from. He's a graduate coming in from the Everton side, and for the previous season he played 6 games for Everton, scored 1 goal. 10 games this season. He has missed out like on 2 games of Everton this season. It shows you what he brings on the table as a player. So, as he comes in through as a player and being linked to Man United, I don't think this is the signing you're supposed to be making. We should be signing a top-tier centre-back. Because when you look at the central defense of United, we are really, really, really lacking young defenders. The only young defender that we are having that is really good is Lisandro Martinez. Others are good, but they are aged. And then when we ask, what of the midfield? Why do you go in for young Amadou Onana? Onana, at the age of 22, he's really working beyond even his age. So, with Casemiro, Amrabat, Eriksen, Kobe Menu, Hannibal, you need a player like Onana because he's 22, but he's really performing at levels of Manchester United. Look at the player like Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham is 20, but he's performing like a player who's going to hit his prime, yet he hasn't hit his prime yet. That is it, coming in from Jude Bellingham, and that's why I want Onana in, but I don't want this Branthwaite guy in because he's not the kind of defender that we want. That is it. And I've always not fancied us having lots of English players into that team. And trust me, that's not the scouting. That's not the scouting of people like Paul Michu and Jean Claude. It's a scouting made by John Mata. You've been scouting very many English players, you know? And look at teams like Arsenal. The English players they go for are really very good because their scout, Edu, is really one of the best when it comes to this job, and he was voted the best sporting director in the Golden Awards in Europe. Now, when you look at the English players that they've gone ahead to sign, I think they've signed Branthwaite. He's good. They've signed Ramsdale. He's good. They've signed which other guy? They've signed Declan Rice. He's good. And those are the only three English players that Mikel Arteta is going to sign in his era. That is it. So you shouldn't sign very many English players because few of those are really limited or are really having talents that can obviously supersede, you know. But at United, we've invested a lot in signing very many English players. And let me count for you how many English players we've gone ahead to sign since 2018. Harry Maguire. Daniel James? Aaron Wan-Bissaka? Jadon Sancho? Mason Mount. We've brought in 5. But look at Man City. How many have they brought in? They've brought in Jack Grealish. You get? And who else? So it's not that you're supposed to go on and really bring in English players, you know. So I think the new sporting director will obviously do us the needful and really give us the best that we deserve as a team. Oh, and Calvin Phillips. They've signed 2 English players, but they've been signing players that are not really English. Erling Haaland, Julian Alves, Doku, Matthias Nunes. I think even that's when Rodri came in through. They've brought in Akanji. And very many others have gone ahead to obviously buy and bring in. But most of those players aren't English. So I want you to obviously underline that word English because I'm not in love with that guy and I wouldn't love to see him play for the club of Manchester United. Then we go to Andre Onana. Andre Onana really got a problem in his ribs and lots of things had to be done. And we are told on Saturday that Andre Onana will now return to United to undergo further testing on his injury. It remains to be seen whether he'll be fit to play against Everton next weekend. This is Carl Anka and he works for The Athletic. So after all that traveling, we are all worried on whether this man is going to be available, and we did some of the videos even calling in for Bendeiri to come in through and obviously do the job and get it done. But we've gone ahead to get a very huge update coming in from Rob Dawson. He's a correspondent for Man United for the ESPN, and he's gone ahead to let us know that Andre Onana hopes to be fit for the match against Everton on Sunday. He's just hoping. It's not a given that he's going to be really fit, but he hopes. He hopes to be fit for the match against Everton on Sunday. That is Andre Onana for you. So everyone would love to see, not everyone, because there is a clique of United fans. There is a clique of United fans who really want Bendeiri to be given a chance. That is it. But there is huge hope that Andre Onana will return on Sunday as we take on Everton. And for my case, for the game of Everton, it's okay. But away in Turkey, Galatasaray, I would prefer Bendeiri to come in between the stitches for the club of Manchester United. Welcome to this channel. It has been really nice talking to you. And your thoughts onto Amadou Onana to the club of Man United and Branthwaite, you know, the central defender who is just 21 years of age, and he's really highly rated in the Premier League. And may the living to God bless you abundantly as you drop your comments into the comment section below. Rokan David remains my name. The Muslims Barakallahu Fikum. I'm out. 2 hours. I'm gonna be back to talk to you.